Rod Hay's name resonates deeply in the world of rodeo, and the reason for this is not hard to find. Known for his remarkable skills and determination, he carved a legacy that's left a lasting impact on the sport. But behind the accolades and the cowboy hat, there's a story of grit, passion, and perseverance. In this video, we're diving into the life of Rod Hay, his early beginnings, his rise to fame, and the moments that defined his incredible career. Rod's rodeo journey kicked off with a bang in 1989 when he was named the PRCA Rookie of the Year. This prestigious title was just the beginning of what would become a storied career. When asked about his early days in the sport, Rod shared that his initial dream was simple yet ambitious, to be the best there ever was in rodeo. However, he also noted that this lofty goal wasn't something he dwelled on constantly during his 2-decade-long career on the road. Rod's words reveal a lot about his mindset and determination throughout his career. He reflected on how his goal to be the best wasn't just a passing thought, but a dream he had from the start. Ever since he was a kid, all he wanted was to excel, and that focus carried over into everything he did in life. His approach to his rodeo career was refreshingly down to earth. "My main goal with rodeo was to be able to make a living doing it," he explained. "I never tried to look too far ahead. I took things one day at a time as I was going down the road." This practical, step-by-step approach served Rod well throughout his career, allowing him to focus on the present and give his best performance each time he mounted a bucking bronc. But before we dive deeper into Rod's incredible journey, I want to plead with you to take a moment to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing to our channel, you'll ensure you don't miss out on more fascinating stories from the rodeo world and beyond. Now, let's continue. Rod's practical approach to his rodeo career clearly paid off, as he earned an impressive total of $2,331,475 over the years. Looking back on more than 2 decades of competition, Rod feels satisfied with what he accomplished. He has reflected on his journey, saying he's had a long career filled with success, and he's grateful for all the experiences along the way. Riding alongside many fantastic bronc riders and great horses from his era made his time in the sport even more special. One of the aspects of his rodeo career that Rod particularly appreciated was how it allowed him to balance his professional pursuits with family life. Plus, it's the best job to raise a family because you can run your own schedule and do your own thing. You can take your kids with you, and they get to be a part of everything. "I never really took anything for granted," he explained. Throughout his career, Rod experienced numerous defining moments and achievements. One such moment occurred in June of 2010 at the Danes Ranch Rodeo. It was a day that perfectly revealed the highs and lows of rodeo life, showcasing both Rod's skill and the inherent risk of the sport. On that Sunday afternoon, Rod knew he was in for a challenge when he drew a Calgary horse called Gross Beetle. This 13-year-old mare was notorious for being stubborn, even to the best riders. But Rod, never one to shy away from a challenge, prepared himself for the ride of his life. As the gate swung open, Gross Beetle lived up to her reputation. The bay horse circled to the left with powerful, elongated bucking strides. Rod, drawn on years of experience, found himself exactly where he needed to be on the horse's back. However, as the ride neared its end and the whistle blew, things took an unexpected turn. The horse made another rotation, and Rod dismounted. His right leg seemed to catch in the stirrup. What happened next was a moment that made the crowd hold their breath. Rod Hay, known for his toughness and resilience, struggled to get up. When he signaled for help to exit the arena, those familiar with Rod knew something was seriously wrong. Rod Hay never asked for help. The irony of the situation wasn't lost on anyone. As Rod was being attended to by the paramedics, who were cutting off his jeans to treat a rapidly swelling knee, the announcer's voice boomed across the arena. Rod had scored an impressive 88 points, half a point better than the previous leader, Todd Herzog from Penhold. The crowd on the hillside erupted in cheers, creating a surreal contrast between Rod's physical pain and his competitive triumph. As the final performance of the Innisfail Rodeo concluded, it became clear that despite the injury, Rod had clinched the title. The big check, the coveted buckle, and the special Conway Trophy bronze were all his. However, The victory celebration was far from typical. Unable to climb the stairs to accept his awards, Rod received them behind the chutes, ice packs taped around his injured knee. Despite being in pain, Rod's kindness and gratitude were clear. He took a moment to thank the sponsors and the Danes family, expressing how honored he felt to win on the event's 50th anniversary. Rod mentioned that he had experienced many great moments in that arena, and this victory was definitely one of them. Even though he was speaking through clenched teeth due to his discomfort, his words reflected his unwavering positivity and deep love for the sport. Rod's attitude showed just how much he appreciated the support from the community, and his determination made this win even more meaningful. As Rod prepared to leave on crutches, he revealed that he sensed something was off even before the fall. He explained that things went wrong near the end when his leg twisted awkwardly in the saddle, followed by a popping sound. Though the doctors had not confirmed whether anything was torn yet, they informed him it was a knee injury. The uncertainty added to the stress, but Rod stayed composed as he shared the news. The injury came at the worst possible time, right when the rodeo season was about to get busier. For some like Rod, who thrives during this hectic period, the setback was not only painful, but also incredibly frustrating. He knew this would likely affect his momentum and chances to compete at the highest level. What happened at the Danes Ranch Rodeo just shows how unpredictable rodeo can be. In one moment, a cowboy can achieve victory, and the next, face a serious challenge. For Rod, winning the event while suffering an injury highlights his incredible skill and determination. It takes more than just physical strength to pull through a situation like that. It also demands mental toughness and the ability to stay focused, even when things don't go as planned. Rod's resilience during that ride showed everyone that rodeo isn't just about skill, but also about pushing through setbacks with grit and a positive attitude. But here's one thing to note. Rod Hayes' story is that it's not just about his personal accomplishments, it's also about his family rodeo legacy. In rodeo, it's common to see families pass down their passion for the sport, with multiple generations competing. The Hayes are no exception. While Rod and his family members never competed in the same event at the same time, their connection to rodeo spans across generations. Rodeo is in their blood, and their deep-rooted ties to the sport have shaped their lives. Rod's father, Fred, was also a saddle bronc rider. Rod and his brother Denny followed in their father's footsteps, both launching their careers north of the border in Canada. The old saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, certainly rings true for this rodeo family. Now, the next generations of Hayes is making waves in the pro rodeo world. Rod's son, Dawson and Logan, are carving out their own paths in the sport their father dominated for so long. When Rod talks about his son's growing success in rodeo, his pride shines through. He couldn't hide his excitement as a father, saying, "I couldn't be prouder." Rod has watched them develop their skills from the very beginning to where they are now, and seeing their dedication and progress fills him with pride. He recognizes just how much effort they put into their craft and admires the riders they're becoming. The journey to the National Finals Rodeo for Rod Hayes' sons started right on their family ranch in Wildwood, Alberta, where Rod now spends most of his time. For years, the family has raised their own bucking horses, giving his sons and other saddle bronc riders in Canada a rare and valuable chance to practice. Rod shared how they'd been bucking horses for a long time and continue to do so at their own event, the Wildwood Bronc Busting. In the past 6 or 7 years, Rod has focused much of his time on helping his kids train, watching them hone their skills. With his youngest son now competing, Rod doesn't see them slowing down anytime soon, as the family remains fully committed to the sport and its future is in their hands. Also, Rod's passion for bucking horses has stayed strong from his rodeo days to now. He explained how ranching was always a part of his life, but his focus for many years was on his rodeo career. When he finally accepted that his time competing was over, he turned his attention fully to ranching. Years ago, Rod, along with his brother and father, had bought a few horses, which eventually became his responsibility. Raising bucking horses wasn't just a side project for Rod. It was something he genuinely loved. He enjoys the artistry of the sport and finds great satisfaction in not only raising skilled bronc riders, but also in raising top-notch broncs. For him, there's a deep pride in developing the horses his way and being part of the sport he loves from a different angle. Even after stepping away from competing, Rod's love for rodeo hasn't faded. He's still a big fan of the sport and hardly misses a chance to watch. With rodeo being more accessible on TV these days, Rod admits that he watches it more than any other sport. What makes it even more special for him is getting to see his sons ride, enjoying their performances not just as a father, but as a true fan of the sport. For Rod, excitement of rodeo is still very much alive, and watching his boys carry on the family tradition makes it even more meaningful. As we look back on Rod's career, we see a man who approached his passion with a practical mindset, taking each day as it came and focused on being the best he could be. His approach paid off, not just in terms of championships and earnings, but in the satisfaction of a career well lived and the joy of passing on his love for the sport to the next generation. Rod Hayes' legacy in professional rodeo is secure. His 20 NFR qualifications, his numerous victories, and his enduring influence on the sport ensure that his name will be remembered alongside the greatest saddle bronc riders in history. But perhaps his greatest legacy is the love for rodeo that he's instilled in his sons and the countless young riders he's inspired along the way. As we wrap up this look into Rod Hayes' remarkable career and ongoing rodeo journey, we're reminded of the unique blend of athleticism, tradition, and family that makes rodeo such a compelling sport. If you made it this far, show your support by liking this video and subscribing to this channel if you didn't do that earlier. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.